anniversary of when a tornado touched down in Campbelltown, Lebanon County.
It destroyed a community and left its mark on the Mid-State forever.
I took a look back with the man who was here leading our coverage and seeing us through it. What do you think, a little newer than since when you were here?
You've brightened the place a little bit.
Ah, reminiscing with old friends. It's a nice thing to do, a comfort, a feeling from the past.
In
this case, it's the legendary weather leader here at ABC 27, Chuck Rhodes.
Now, you know some of these people.
Hey, you work here too.
Allegedly.
This is ABC 27 News at 6.
Today's purpose? To reflect and remember a weather event that shaped Central PA 2 decades ago.
Some of our viewers reported what they said were tornadoes in York and Lebanon counties today.
And one that Chuck and our viewers won't forget.
We've had several calls from them concerned. They're looking to the sky and they're seeing thunder and lightning. Yes, it is coming at you at about 25 miles an hour. It'll be in Campbelltown in a matter of minutes. And we knew there would be tornadoes. We knew there'd be a house down here and there occasionally. And all of a sudden, out of the blue on this day, we were getting calls into the newsroom. Hey, this is bad. We had this story.
That day was July 14th, 2004. That story, a tornado touched down in Campbelltown, and it was bad. But how bad?
But this was different. It was broad. It had an energy. When it became obvious after we saw the first footage, that changed everything.
Keith Blaisdell, chief engineer at ABC 27, was news director back in 2004. He remembers that day too.
I was on the phone moving reporters around and working with assignment desk here and so forth. And when I first saw the video later that night on the national news, I thought I was seeing Kansas.
Let me show you that footage now in our big screen here, because if you can see it.
Oh my.
Take me back when you saw that for the first time. What did you both referenced Kansas, but this isn't something we see around these parts.
That's the footage. I saw that and I said, oh my goodness, that's the Kansas, Nebraska that we see on a daily basis on national feed. This can't be my viewing area.
But it was. It was our viewing area and our viewers.
It was like a screeching, screamy siren.
Real people affected by a force of nature that left over 30 homes and a community in ruin.
It's a storm we haven't seen like this for some time around here. I wanted to help these people. They lost their homes. We didn't know if there were injuries. It looked gruesome. So I just wanted to go, and apparently I wasn't alone because they had an army of people from all over the area.
And an army was what it would take to rebuild and clean up after a tornado of this size. National Weather Service meteorologists held a press conference after their damage survey, and former ABC 27 meteorologist Rob Dixon was there.
With the damage that we saw, multiple homes that were totally destroyed, nothing but foundations left, that puts us into the F3 wind scale.
F3 represents the mid-portion of the Fujita tornado scale. It produces severe damage as rotational winds range from 158 to 206 miles an hour.
Chuck was on air as the tornado warning was issued, but his memory better serves him in the aftermath. Both he and his former news director understand this was more than just a weather event. It was a human one.
Central Pennsylvania has an amazing spirit of helping. You think back to the 72 floods and you think to the Amish people coming in from other places just to help people in the inner city. There's just a spirit here that's amazing.
That spirit carried the community that was destroyed and the people that helped rebuild it too. I had Chuck watch footage from that day. As we talked, I could tell he remembered the fear that radiated that afternoon.
It's really sharpened my focus just in the last few minutes looking at this again, remembering the gut feeling of devastation and what it meant to these people.
But he also remembers the faith and fellowship that followed.
We can learn there's an awful lot of good in this world.
I got hugs from people. They wanted to hug somebody just telling me the story. And even though it was 2 or 3 days earlier, they wanted to be reassured it's going to be all right.
It was all right, eventually, because out of every storm comes hope.
I don't know if you can take a look at the sky right above this, a rainbow. I don't know if that's a sign of hope or anything, but we are seeing a rainbow.
And hope is something to hold on to. Hope for better days ahead, no matter the size of the storm. Chuck remembers it all and looks back fondly on his time here, serving you.
I miss the people. I miss the viewers. I really do.
And we miss him.
We do. It was great to see
Wow.
him last weekend to talk with him about this. You know, it's very hard, and I can speak to this when you're on the air with a tornado warning, to know what's happening on the ground, right? We think we do based on what we're looking at, but this was so different. You were out there.
I was.
Nothing like it.
I remember it so vividly because it was the most devastating thing I had ever laid eyes on. And now 20 years later, I can still say it was the most devastating thing I've ever laid eyes on. I remember turning into that neighborhood, and as soon as you rounded the corner, like my blood ran cold. Because at that point, we didn't know, did everyone survive? And thankfully everyone did.
Yeah.
There was one woman, if my memory serves me, who was very seriously injured.
Yes.
But yeah, it was unlike anything that you had ever seen. And they're right. You see these images that come out of the Midwest all the time, but to see something like that happen here was just so different.
Yeah.
It was very different, and of course the rainbow that you referenced there in the package overhead gave people hope. And
it was this terrible line of storms, and then it got quiet, and then all of a sudden this new line of storms came through, creating that rainbow.
Yeah, good stuff.
Just amazing to look back though, 20 years later, and seeing all that, and the memories come flooding back.
Yeah, and they certainly did for Chuck. It was great seeing him again.
All right, great job. Stay with us. We'll be right back.